Welcome in. Welcome to this foundations practice. I'm thrilled to hear that there are many of you taking the foundations class in the recorded version and that you are loving it. That kind of feedback means the world to me, as otherwise I feel like I'm just flying in the dark a little bit. So it really helps to understand what, not just how you use our platform, but what you use and how and when. Those kinds of things are very informative to me. So I would like you to know I'm grateful. I'm going to invite you right now to rub the palms of your hands together quite briskly. And as you do that, just soften, yield enough to notice that it makes the foundation of you kind of wiggle around a little bit from your sits bones, hopefully. And then just use that awareness to let yourself get a little more earthy, a little more anchored. Build a little bit of heat here, and then just when your arms start to get a little fatigued, close your eyes and use the palms to cup your eye sockets. And let this be an inward turn for you. And then you can more deeply align with the rhythm of your breath. And you can soften. So we've had this beautiful fall here in Park City, Utah, where the trees over the last month or so have taken time to give us a beautiful display. So perhaps that's happened in your neck of the woods, unless you're in Hawaii or someplace where you're a little warmer. But to know what it's like to see the fall colors, you can imagine whatever colors come up for you. It might be the name of a color or the actual color, or some of you will see or taste colors. It's just different for everyone. And start to pull that awareness of how things change. Nature shifts and changes. And we'll pull that down into the heart center, into Anjali Mudra. And then all the way down to the root of who you are, turning that triangle with your thumbs below the navel and the fingertips pointing downward. So what happens in the fall, in this time of big transition, it appears that the trees are giving us a big outward display, and it's true. But from an internal perspective, they're collecting their nutrients. They're drawing the sugar from the leaf down into the core so that they have what they need to rest and settle through the long winter. Let yourself call your energy into the core of your being, your body. Use your breath. Feel your sense of being anchored through the body downward. And at the same time, you do rise up. The trees don't give up their outward lift. It just looks a little different once the leaves disappear. So feel your branches, your arms. Let them snug up into the root of the shoulder blade. And with your hands resting gently on your lower belly, see if you can perceive a gentle rhythm where the inhalation brings a downward and inward turn of the pubic bone, the inner thighs rolling down towards the earth. And how the exhale creates a tiny little engagement, a lengthening of the tailbone. So there's this ever so subtle inward turn, a gentle rock and roll. And you don't need to force it, just yield to the greater wisdom that lies within. And from that deep, deep knowing, your wisdom that knows that yoga is a way to collect ourselves, to draw ourselves back into the essence of who we are. Stay with your breath, stay with the grounding energy, and bring your hands back up to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. Invite you to set your intention for your practice. What is going inward, and how can pulling your resources into the core of who you are make a difference? And how you can show up for what lies ahead, even in the not so distant, but seemingly distant future. And we'll set this intention by offering song, mantra, a way to honor and recognize that we are in tune with, aligned with, harmonizing with, fluid with that wise pulsation that knows the inward turn is so important. We'll take our Shiva mantra, one Om, one round of mantra. Deep breath in, fluid breath out. Draw the breath in. Om. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tehi Jase. Oh. To that guru, the gurave, that deep, wise aspect of being that we open to within ourselves. We bow. All right. Just release your hands and open your eyes. And we'll come to a very familiar posture called all fours. And take your time. Set yourself up. Allow all fours to just be a way to create a sense of stability, anchoring downward. Both the legs and the arms have something in Anusara Yoga we call inward spiral. So if you push down more fully through the index finger pad and the inside of the thumb, just below the thumbnail, the forearms will turn inward more. And if you maintain that and yield to the heart and bow in like a cat, we'll gently squeeze the knees towards the midline between, and that will strengthen the upper inner thighs. And at the same time, tuck your toes and then tuck your toes again so you can feel the pads of the big toes. Let the energy engage from the big toe and spread and reach from big toe to outer ankle. Even let the heels move outward, the shin bones move outward. And what this will do is create an inward turn of the femur bones. So you want to hold that and then see if you can take that energy, that awareness, and pull it more into insight and feel how it shifts the curve of your lower back. Now lift up the throat and the heart and the head to match the sit bones rising, and we'll create more of a cow. So lift the sit bones, let the lower back really move forward towards the navel. And then as you exhale, push down through that strength of the inner spiral of the forearms, index finger and thumbs, and take your cat. Keep the inner thighs moving back, even though the tailbone roots down here. And cow. Now you just start to play with how femur bones roll back and wide, forearms roll in and down. And you can take a cow and a cat and maintain the curve of the lower back. Beautiful. Please take downward dog by drawing arm bones. Pull the energy of the arm bones deeply into the core of the shoulders. And then as you lift the hips, push down through the balls of the feet. Pick up the sit bones, move them high and back. And keep anchoring down through the index finger and thumb, anchoring down through the big toe. Now we're going to spread your toes because you can see them. And squeeze the ankles in towards the midline, even as you press the energy from big toe to outer ankle. Now you'll really feel the hips broaden, the lower back curve a little more. Inhale to the knees. And point your toes, child's pose. Down to your elbows, lift your forearms up and circle out your wrists. So this will be a slow moving asana practice today, an inward turn. So use the shape of child's pose and let yourself relax into your being, into your body. Go into this little love nugget and breathe it. And even as you do, can you squeeze the knees gently towards midline, just enough so that the femur bones start to roll inward and you can feel a broadening across your sacrum, your lower back and hip. Now give that breath, pull the sugar of life, the breath, deeply down into the core of the hips and the lower back. Stretch out your arms, push down through the index finger and the thumb, lift the base of the wrist, lift the elbows, lift the underside of the arm, the armpit. And then inhale, come forward, dragging the hands energetically backwards so the heart can move. Tuck your toes and create that inner spiral. More energy pushing from index finger to thumb, from big toe to outer ankle. Draw your feet all the way together until the inside edges touch, the knees touch. Bend your knees deeply. And as you're ready, you'll push down more through the ball mound of your right foot to lift the inside seam of left leg up and back. And deep breath here, square the hips. Lower left foot to meet right. Bend the knees, reach down from the heart through the index finger and thumb, even as you lift the underside of the arms. Now stretch down and anchor through left ball mound of foot as you lift Inside seam of right leg, up and back, spread your toes. Feel what you feel. Take just the glorious awareness of feeling your body. Pull that in with your breath. And lower right leg to meet left. Please walk both feet forward. Take your hands to the outer upper shins, the outside, the thick part of the shins. Squeezing the shins in, bend the knees. Hold the shins steady, so anchor to the midline of your body, and now really broaden from big toe to outer heel and ankle, and yield to the inward turn. Let the upper inner thighs spiral inward, bending the knees just enough that your lower back can receive the inward turn. Keep pressing on your hands. Push down now from the outer hips to the baby toe, and from the baby toe to the inner ankle. And now pull the heart forward, halfway up. Stay strong in your legs, hands to your hips, elbows lift to the sky. And with your exhalation, draw the tailbone down and rise up. Now we'll take a crisscross of the hands, the wrists, bend your knees and place the hands to the upper inner thighs. So like you just did with the strength of the shins, now you have to use your muscles. So spread and lift the toes. Lifting the baby toes, the outer shins get stronger. That's called muscular energy. Keep that. And then press from big toe to outer heel and use your hands to help the inward turn. Literally push the upper inner thighs, not just apart, but roll the flesh down towards the floor and back so that your lower back can arch. Keep the arch, pull the tailbone down, and then liberate the arms like tree branches. Chair pose. Deep breath in, long breath out. You can close your eyes here if you'd like. Pull your, it's called pratyahara, pull your senses inward. Just like the trees, root yourself down and feel your feet. Hear your breath. Lower belly pulls back, tailbone draws down. Keeping the upper inner thighs moving back, pull the legs up to straight. Extend the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Keep squeezing the feet in, moving the big toe energy towards the outer heel. Lengthen the spine. And this time we'll step right foot back to a lunge. Turn the right heel all the way down. Placing left forearm to thigh and right hand to hip. Keep the inward turn. Stay folded forward. When we move the heart forward, the upper thighs move backwards more easily. Now squeeze the back foot towards the front heel and then really try and let the inner thighs spin inward as you push down through big toe and spread that energy to the outer right ankle. Let the femur bone turn inward. Now zip up the belly, root the hips, and stand up, warrior two. So especially on the back leg, we need to let the femur bone roll inward and back. Honor that as you straighten your front left leg. Keep the inward turn of the back leg. And we'll take triangle pose if you need a block. It's there for you under your left hand. Exaggerate the sensation, big toe to outer right ankle, and feel that go all the way up the inside seam of the leg and even to the lower back. Now push from the left buttocks down through the baby toe. Deep breath in, long breath out. When you let the back heel lift and spiral from the big toe, the hips will square. Spiral the big toe down and lift the heel, turn the hips forward, lunge. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inner thighs lift even as the tailbone roots for cobra. Downward dog. Active feet. Lift your toes. Push through the ball mounds of the feet. Spread the energy from big toe to outer ankle and really transfer that up into the broadening sensation of the inner thighs and the sacral energy in the hip. High on the tippy toes, lift your heels, look forward. Follow the exhale, tiptoe forward, one footprint at a time. And active feet, strong legs. Hold and embrace your shins. Anchor down through the legs as you spin the thighs back and wide. Lengthen the spine halfway up. Hold that power by anchoring the tailbone and hands to hips. Deep breath in. Use the tailbone, pull it downward to rise up. Good job. Take your second favorite hand on top. Drop in. Active feet. Press the upper thighs back and wide. Use your hands to mold so that the top of the femur bone starts to roll inward more. So the thumbs are on top, fingers on the inside. And then look at your feet and see how your feet can help you create that action, and then use the muscles and your intention. So hold the inward turn like you're bedding down for the colder, longer, darker days. Anchor the hips, cactus arms. Turning the gaze downward. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or you can soften the eyelids. And just think about drawing in your resources, holding on to what's precious, the nectar of life. Honor that as you pull the legs to straight, Urdhva anchor down before you rise up, and fold forward. Active feet, femur bones in, broaden the lower back, and as you lengthen halfway up, find the curve of the lower back. If you cannot, you need blocks, so you must support yourself. With inhale, left foot steps back. Pivot on the ball mound of the foot, the back foot, and as you set the leg down, spread from big toe to outer ankle. Right forearm to thigh, left hand to hip, and just exaggerate it. Squeeze the feet together from back foot towards front heel, and find that inward turn of the back leg. Anchor it down, and then hold it as you lift up, warrior two. Pull from the feet up into the core of the hips to straighten your front right leg. Both legs need the inward turn, but the back leg needs it more. The front leg needs more power from outer buttocks to baby toe to inner ankle. Use the feet, use the spiral of the leg as you dip it down for triangle pose. Use your exhale. And then once you land, give yourself a breath, yield to the shape, and start to pull the inward awareness and resources through holding and breathing, Trikonasana. Really enjoy now the inward spiral of the left leg, lifting the heel, bring the left arm down and spiral the inner thigh to square the hips. So we close the pose with inward spiral. Plant your hands, downward dog. Inhale, plank, lower chaturanga, cobra, downward dog. Feet together. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step forward. If you need a blanket, set it under the left knee. Bring your hands up. Tuck the ball of your back foot under. Pull the back knee forward towards your front heel and pull the front heel down and back towards the back knee. Now take your hand to the outer left hip. And as you pull the energy more from big toe to outer ankle, squeeze the ankle in and allow that outer thigh to turn forward and in towards the inside seam of the front leg. Hold that and lift up. Anjaneyasana. So the back leg needs lots of inward turn. Anchor it down and enjoy. Inhaling the hands down all the way. Lift the back knee. Look at the back knee. Lift the back heel so it's vertical over the bottom of the left foot. Press more from big toe to outer heel and feel the inner thigh strengthen. Maintain that as you set the back foot down and we take side angle up and over with the left arm. Drop your awareness into the body, bowing into the heart, thighs back. Spiral that back leg inward even more so that the front buttocks can wrap down. Lifting up, warrior two. Pull the front right leg to straight. Triangle pose. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale and wind it. Take that inner spiral to square the hips. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inner thighs stay strong, lifting, turning inward as you lift up. Nice. And downward dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step forward. As you set the knee, think of the inward turn of the back leg. So you've already got it happening. Then pull the back knee forward, anchor the front heel. Use that to rise up. When you make the inside edge of your back knee stronger, so you squeeze it in against the strength of the back foot broadening from big toe to outer ankle, the inner thigh is going to really light up. That'll help keep the curve of the back, keep the thigh bone in place. Now push through the legs and keep spinning that back leg inward. Let the hands come to the earth. Look at your back, upper inner thigh and knee. Lift from the inward turn. Inner spiral the right leg to lift it off the floor. So it happens more from inner thigh. Deep breath in, anchor back heel, and find that inward spiral of the back leg and push through the front leg as you lift up, side angle. Deep, deep turn in with the breath, the body. Lifting up, warrior two. Make the back leg very strong as you pull the front leg to straight. Now push down through the bottom end of that back big toe as you reach down to triangle. Setting your foundation, deepen your breath. Draw the feet to midline. Find the inward spiral of the legs. Push from the hips to the feet and lengthen out through the spine. And just like nature, let go of the brilliance of the pose and bring it down into your root as you spiral the hips for lunge and rest in downward dog. Feel what's going on inside your hips and your lower back. All right. Walk your feet forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And hands to heart. Bend your knees, chair pose. Take a big wide step, reaching right leg back. Open up, and we'll take a pose called Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Hands on thighs, right where the front pockets would be if you had on pants with pockets. Slide your hands in, front pockets, squeeze the feet towards the midline. When we take the inward spiral, the front pocket should hollow out. So most of us stand by pushing the femur bones forward and it flattens the lower back. You can try that for 1 second. Doesn't feel that great, but this is how you stand a lot. Maybe not with your legs this wide. Pull the feet in, press from big toe to outer ankle, and allow the thighs to move back. Allow the thighs to turn in, and then feel your lower back. Is there curve? Find just enough tailbone pulling down towards your heels that your lower back retains the curve, but also feels strong. Now, pull the heart forward, but use your legs. Spiral the thighs in and back. Hands to sacrum. Place right hand down to the earth. Pull the heart forward and turn from right to left, a little modified revolved triangle. Inhale and wind. Bring that right hand back to your hips. You've got to use your legs. Deep breath in. Left hand down. Find the action of the feet. Big toe to outer heel, even as the feet draw in. Press from hips to legs. Lengthen your spine. Deep breath in. And now we turn around our own resources, turning from left to right. The leg you're turning away from needs more of the inward spiral. Inhale and wind, placing both hands on the floor. Pull the feet magnetized towards the midline and reach down, peace fingers to big toes. Pull up with your hands, pushing down with your feet. Allow the elbows to widen. And keep broadening, big toe to outer ankle, all the way down. Deep breath in. Loving breath out. Keep the feet really strong. Exaggerate the inward spiral from big toe to outer ankle as you lift up halfway. Pull on the big toes if that feels okay for you. Now pull the tailbone down just enough so that you feel the outside of your baby toe and the inner heel root. Hold all that juice, walking hands to your left. Lift the heel of your back foot and pivot both feet to lunge. Downward dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale to your knees. Please have a seat. The balls of my feet are tired. I wonder if yours are. All right. I'm going to take both feet out in front of you. Capture and hold the left foot, big toe, baby toe side. with your fingers, pushing down through the strength of your right leg. You need to find lumbar curve here. So push the femur bones and the pubic bone down towards your blanket, your heel, lifted heel down towards the blanket. Good. Now we'll take that right leg and fold it inward a little bit, or a lot. Good. Now we're going to bring that right hand to the floor. And even though we've let go of the big toe mound, it's the leading force here. Press down through the parts that hold you, anchor yourself down. And now press through more of that left big toe to extend the leg. Allow the heel to move wide. The femur bone turns in. Now we'll anchor the outer hip down and press from baby toe to inner ankle. Hold your foot. It's a pose called Conchasana. If it's too much, take a strap and put that around the ball of the foot instead of your hands. Deep breath in, big breath out. Deep breath in. Close your eyes if you'd like. And no matter what's going on here, make sure the lumbar curve feels intact for you. And so that might mean bending the knee a little bit, pushing more from big toe into the fingers of the right hand. Bend that knee a lot. Set it down. Take a deep breath. Pull everything down and in. Quiet your mind. Soften your eyes. Pull the knees together like you're closing a good book. Set the feet. Find that lumbar curve. Reach down. Lift the foot. Make sure the pubic bone, so in this shape, we rock back more towards the tailbone side of us. Try to keep the fluidity, the yielding of the inner thighs. And from here, set the left leg, lean to the left, and then pull into the core of the shoulder. Leading from the ball mound of the big toe, extend that right leg up and breathe. Deep breath in. So you can lift that sit bone off the floor, your whole right buttocks. That's what inner spiral does. It expands and broadens from the big toe all the way up to the inner thigh and the outer sit bone, and even up into your lower back. Now from there, you'll anchor the outer right hip to the baby toe to inner heel. And if you need to bend your knees to keep that lumbar curve and that inward turn of the femur bone intact, that's the right choice. Closing the eyes, feel the shape. And even though we've risen up, stayed down in the core, and bend the knee, find your seat. So this may or may not be your favorite leg in front. Go with it, feel it. Expand the thigh bones back and wide on both sides. Let your hands rest. Turn the gaze so far inward that you feel the back of the heart broaden. Close the eyes, deepen your breath. And see, just feel like the upper body is more like a cobra hood. Pull the energy up and over yourself. And by bowing the head and the heart forward, allow the inner thighs to settle down like water to the earth. And then ever so gently, tone your belly, tone the muscles around the tailbone, pulling the tailbone towards your blanket or towards your sticky mat. Hold that internally resourced witness of self, and then stack yourself up from the hips to the heart and the heart to the head. Hands to heart center. Allow the hands to be soft like ghee. Fingers turn a little more forward than straight up and down. And let the elbows relax a little wider so the shoulder blades can hold you, squeezing toward your spine. As you pull the pit of your throat back so your ears line up even more with the outer shoulder blades, let that bring a strength to the lower abdominals, just below the navel. And by reaching the tailbone down just enough, the groin should relax. If that's not the case, prop up your knees with blocks or blankets, or sit up a little higher on a blanket. Do what you need to find a way to drop down and in with no strain in this very challenging, it's not a beginner pose. And take the mantra Om Namah Shivaya Gurave, 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 Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. Stick with your mantra out loud. When you've completed the Gurave, it's a short burst of inhale, but you must use the diaphragm. The diaphragm must pull down on that short inhale. And that way you have the breath out to offer the mantra. So you pull your resource down and in with that short inhale. And it's an inhale through your nose. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. 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 Now take your mantra to a whisper, an audible whisper. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. Om Shivaya Gurave. Om Shivaya. Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Good. Om Namah Shivaya. Good. Om Namah Shivaya. Now take the mantra internally so you hear it inside your mind's eye. And you can breathe with it. Breath can lengthen here. Allow the hands to rest on the thighs, either up or down. Index finger to thumb. And just let the mantra go altogether. Give yourself 5 good breaths. Just be in the receptivity, pulling all of your insight, awareness, the outer experience of life down and into your being, your body. So you're internally resourced. And from that place where yielding and anchoring meet, we draw the hands to the heart. And we close with an Om. Deep breath in, long breath out. Inhale. Om. The guru within. To that deep wisdom, we bow. Namaste. Thank you. Mwah. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next time as we elaborate the theme of transition with one more of our UPAs or 2 more. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out by next week, I promise.